What is up, everybody? So I'm so excited to be talking to y'all tonight. This is going to be the first late night Tuesday talk with Kaylin, and today's topic is going to be boundaries. And I thought about it earlier, and so many things were just rolling through my mind, and the fact that there are so many people in this world with no boundaries. And it's really heartbreaking because boundaries is what protects us. But I think that boundaries have been villainized. People make people feel bad for having boundaries. And you have so many people in this world trying to take advantage of you, trying to get over on you, just trying to constantly have a way to invade your space and use you. And it's crazy that there are people that do that, but that's why you have to have boundaries set up to not only protect yourself. We need boundaries for ourselves, and we also need boundaries for other people. And something that I think about often is when somebody says, well, I'm just such a good person. I'm just such a nice person, which is why I allow somebody to practically overstep their boundaries. Like, the people will disregard their boundaries and say that it's because I'm a good person. It's because I'm a nice person. No, it's because you don't have any established, or you don't respect the ones that you have established. Like, you can be a good person and a nice person with boundaries. And I think we have allowed people to demonize. That's Alfie is over here chewing on his bone, if y'all hear anything. We have allowed people to demonize and villainize boundaries like they're this bad thing. And that's why people think that in having people automatically, they don't even see boundaries as boundaries. They see it as something negative. I don't even think it pops in their head as, oh, I've let this person disrespect my boundary. I think they see it as, oh, I mean, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Da, 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 da. They're not thinking about themselves as they're allowing this person to disrespect their boundaries. They're thinking about this other person and trying to show respect and trying to show love for this other person that clearly does not love and respect them. You know what I'm saying? And so I tell people, you can be a good person with boundaries. You having boundaries does not make you a bad person. You having boundaries does not make you a mean person. It just means that you have boundaries. As simple as that. And I like having this conversation because I think that it's important. I think that we need to normalize the positive connotation of boundaries. It's a good thing. And the way that people, like, because I remember even saying myself, like, I just forgave them because I'm such a good person and I let them back into my life. No, I was really disrespecting my own boundaries. And we have to start with ourselves. Like, we be the main ones disrespecting our own boundaries. We be the main ones. Like, we are, okay. You are your own captain. Your body, everything around you, everything pertaining you is a ship. You are the captain. If you have a destination and you are headed on that destination, you're trying to get from point A to point B. You know what I'm saying? And it is your job to get there safely. It is your job to get there safely. You know that there are pirates that are ready to come, take over your ship. You know that there's going to be, bad weather at times. Some days you might feel a little lost. You might be a little lost. There's going to be so many challenges that you're just aware of. There's going to be so many challenges that are there that you're aware of, that it's going to try to intercede with what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Now, sometimes some pirates may deceive us. They'll come on and we'll have a little scuffle and then we'll move on. Sometimes you're going to have nights where it's so stormy that, the water, the shaking of the boat, everything is just horrific. There are going to be so many times where you have bad experiences. It's going to be some things you can't control. It's about how you respond to it. It's about how you respond to it. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to pirates, have a defense setup. You got to already have a defense setup because you know that there are pirates out there. You got to have your defense setup. When it comes to weather, you can't control the weather. Roll with the blows. Just roll with the blows. Have something set up. It's about having a set of rules, being prepared, having a set of guidelines set up so that when something does happen, you know how to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us are in a big bad world with nothing to protect us, and that's a problem. You need to be protecting yourself. And I think another thing, it's also been seen as selfish to have boundaries, to tell somebody no. I don't want to do that. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy how people have how the world has made it seem like prioritizing ourselves and prioritizing our peace and our happiness is a bad thing. Like, I don't think y'all understand how much the world has demonized us putting ourselves first, us prioritizing ourselves. It's really crazy, and it's actually really scary because I mean we see it in so many different forms. When a woman decides that she doesn't want to have kids, people are calling her selfish because she doesn't want to have kids. They're calling her selfish for making the choice to not wanting to have kids. When you finally put your foot down to somebody who's been taking advantage of you and they're mad at you, calling you crazy, calling you selfish, saying that you only think about yourself, da 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 da, calling you everything after they have literally drained you. They're saying that you're the bad person. It shows that some people expect us to let them get over on us. There are just and I'm telling y'all this because I've been there. Many of us are there now. You know, many of us are still going through it. Some people, maybe you haven't. I mean, we always have room to grow because I'm pretty sure I have some boundaries I need to set up, or I have boundaries that I'm not respecting for myself, or I'm not making other people respect. And I think that, you know, and I'm telling y'all this because I'm not trying to sit from this podium of saying I'm better than you. Like, no, I still struggle with that. But I talk to y'all about it because I feel like you have to start somewhere. Start minor. Like, really get it. Have a talk with yourself. Have a moment of self-reflection. Sit down with yourself and come up with something. Write some shit out. Write some shit out. You know what I'm saying? Write some stuff out. Write down who the person you want to be. Write down what kind of people you want in your circle. Write down the kind of morals, values. Write down everything that you want. Write down, you know, what you want in life. I mean, everything. Jot it down, because I feel like when you are able to plan it and acknowledge it and know what it is that you want, it's easier to go, like, to strive towards that. When you have a set list of whatever it is that you want, it's so much easier having a plan. Like, you have it all planned out. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that if you are struggling with boundaries, do that, see how that works, because it's hard, especially when some people have had to have become adapted to allowing people to get over on them. Like, some people did not have the choice but to not have boundaries, especially when we're talking about toxic families, abusive situations. Like, some people were not able to have boundaries. Trauma even plays a big role in that. And you know what I wish, and I'm gonna always say this: I wish therapy was free and accessible to everybody. I wish that everybody had a personal therapist from the day that they were coherent to the day that they are not. I wish everybody would be able to have a therapist. We need guidance. We need guidance. We need help. We need people that are going to help us. We're never going to stop needing help. We are never going to stop needing support mentally, emotionally, physically. It's in life. Not to say always life gets harder, but you know, you have more responsibilities as you get older, and it becomes harder to stay true to you when you're dealing with so many different things at once. And then when I feel like there's a lack of that anyways, because a lot of our parents are traumatized, don't know how to deal with whatever they're dealing with. So that doesn't help us much. Not because it's not common for parents to know, they don't know how to deal with shit themselves. So when they have kids, how do you teach those kids how to deal with things that you don't even know how to deal with yourself? You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just a string of trauma issues. Like, that's when I talk about, like, the conversation started off as just boundaries, but it's not just somebody not having boundaries for shits and giggles. That stems from somewhere. And that's why I'm like, a lot of things get brought back to childhood or experiences that people have had. Or the not knowing, not being aware, not being educated, being misinformed. Like, it always comes from a place in which it's not their fault in the beginning. But the longer you go on seeing something is not working, seeing that the way that you're living is not working, if you just tolerate it, then that becomes on you. When you know that something is not working for you and you can't change it and you don't, it becomes your responsibility that things are not going the way that you want them to. And you have to make sure that you stand on top of your game. Hold yourself accountable. You know what I'm saying? Keep yourself 5 steps ahead of yourself. Shit, that's what I be doing. You know, I be trying, you know what I'm saying? But I'm so happy I was able to talk to y'all about this tonight. I really hope that this helps. I really hope that all the information helps. Just us talking. It's not even me trying to tell you what you should or shouldn't be should or should not be doing, but rather to introduce a topic that may be beneficial to you, that you may and you may not even take nothing about boundaries from this. You may be thinking about something else. You may have thought about self-love. You may have thought about self-respect. You may have thought about something in regards to a relationship that you're in. I don't care where it brings you. I just want it to mean something. As long as you can take something away from it, even if it has nothing to do with what I was talking about, I am perfectly fine with that. But I'm gonna go ahead and hop off, and I'm going to see y'all next Tuesday. So thank y'all for popping in. Thank you for watching. I love you.